We're live. Awesome to have you all in here. Love seeing the early birds that are straight in here. So this live session, I'm going to answer your questions. I'm going to hang out. We're going to talk specifically around growing a YouTube channel, how you can have success with it this year, next year, and onwards. I also want to share a little bit about our story and the struggles that we had with our YouTube channel. Yes, we just hit a major milestone, hit 1 million subscribers, which is awesome. And thank you all for your support. If you haven't seen it, we did a live stream last week sharing some of the lessons and tips and those kinds of things in there as well. Definitely go and check that out at some point. But the other thing I wanted to share with you, and I'm just going to call it out up front, is that next week we will be running a free live training workshop to help you specifically with YouTube growth. So I'm going to answer your questions and stuff here today, but next week we're going to dive deeper into that stuff. So it all kicks off in 4 days' time. There is a link in the description. Let's see if I can bring up a title here now. Let's get a little fancy on the live stream. primalvideo.com/live workshop. You can register that. It's totally free. I'm going to be sharing the 5 steps, the 5 things that you need to focus on for success on YouTube. And those are the 5 things that we do for every video that we upload. We're not about uploading random content and hope that it filters into the YouTube algorithm. We are very strategic with the content that we create, and that's what I'm pumped to share with you. So here to hang out, answer your questions, but where I will start, I want to share just really quickly, and some of you might have heard this before, but I really want to share it really quickly, a little bit about our story. And I say our story because while you might know Primal Video as me, I actually work with my brother, Mike, who lives in Singapore. We are business partners at Primal Video. And we're coming up on 7 years now with this channel. And where we started, it wasn't working. We were creating videos that were getting no views. We were wasting a ton of time, and it was pretty frustrating. Yeah, I mean, I guess there's a lot of people out there that are feeling the same way. You're uploading content, you're putting all this time and effort in, and when it's not working, when you're not seeing views, subscribers, whatever your goals are, when it's not happening, it can be pretty frustrating. And that's an area that we were stuck in for so long with our channel, and we see so many people that are stuck there today. And that's really what's encouraged us with our channel to look at all the areas that we were stuck with and all the areas that we see other people stuck with now, and that forms the basis of the content that we release on our channel. We want to come from that place of how do we help, but not just how do we help, we need to have our content show up on YouTube in search results, in places where people can find it so that we can help people with it. So that's now what we teach. How to give YouTube what it needs so that it can understand your content, so that it can find the right audience for your videos, so that you can grow, you can have success with this, because there's too many people that are stuck where we were, just uploading videos without a strategy and hoping that one day the YouTube algorithm will feature your video and it will go viral. It doesn't happen that way. And again, I see people stuck there all the time, and this is where our goal is to help you with this stuff. So massive welcome to everyone that's joining us on here now. I'm seeing a lot of familiar, I was gonna say faces, I guess they're faces, familiar channel names and things on here. Welcome, welcome. Seeing actually quite a few of our Primal Video Accelerator members in here as well. Great to have you in here. And for those that don't know, we have an accelerator program, which is kind of the next level on our free YouTube content. We will have an intake for that in the next couple of weeks, so we'll have more info out on that soon, but massive welcome. Feel free to ask your questions. If I miss them, don't keep spamming them, post them every now and then, but I'll do my best to answer as many questions as we can. I'm here to hang out and help. But yeah, we will be diving much deeper into this stuff in the free live training workshop next week, where I will be sharing the 5 key things that we do for every video. And that's the stuff that I wish we knew when we were starting out. I know that you hear that a lot. You know, this is what I needed. It really is, and it took us a long time to distill this down into the 5 things that we do for every video that we upload. And just understanding what those 5 things are and how you can implement them, you won't be able to go back to be doing what you're currently doing. You'll see how this works. You'll see how all the pieces fit together and how that you can have success with this. But with YouTube, it's never an overnight thing. As I said, we're coming up on 7 years. I think November this year will be 7 years for us with our channel. The first year and a half, we had no idea what we were doing. It wasn't until we started trying and testing and looking at YouTube as a system instead of just a video hosting platform. There's a lot of myths and things around YouTube, that it's too late for YouTube, or that YouTube squashes small creators, or that it takes too long. and it all is BS. With the right strategy, you can grow on YouTube. You can grow fast. You can have success. You can make money. You can build a full-time income and a full business off the back of this if you want to. And that's our approach. And that's what we teach. We teach what's worked for us. Yes, there's lots of different ways that you can do it with more viral video strategy, but that's not something that I'd want to bank on. I want to look at how do I consistently have videos that perform. And that's what we do. So we have videos on our channel that are coming up on 7 years old. They're still bringing in thousands of views a day. They're still growing our email list and still growing the business off the back of it, but they're all designed to help people. Whether people watch our content and that's it, and they're helped with, they've got what they needed to and they never come back, awesome. But we're also able to deepen that relationship with them. We're able to get them to come back and watch more videos. For the most part, if we've helped them, then they're more likely to watch another one of our videos again. And that's how YouTube works. It's watching what you're doing. It's watching what you're watching. And if you're watching a video and you have you watch a big chunk of it, YouTube's more likely to serve your videos out to that person again, or their videos out to you, whether you subscribe or not. And that's where that whole subscriber number thing. We see a lot of people, I need this many subscribers. And I know this is going to sound silly coming from someone who just hit 1 million subscribers, but the whole subscriber number thing really isn't what's important. Because most of the channels that I watch, and it might be the same for you, I'm actually not even subscribed to. But YouTube is that good now that when I open up the YouTube page, I'm seeing content, for the most part, that is stuff that I'm interested in. And that's what we teach, is how to give YouTube enough information about your content so that the viewers are interested in it, but that YouTube can find those viewers that are going to be interested in it. And that's the important stuff. So that's what we're covering off in that free training workshop, primalvideo.com/live workshop. But yeah, today I'm going to hang out. I've already seen quite a few good questions come through. I'll see if I can bring them up on screen. Again, I will be scrolling randomly back through. Question here from Sue jumped out at me. Can you upload too often? So the answer is no, but I would say that more content doesn't mean more results. For us, we do 1 video a week. We've consistently done 1 video a week. I think we've only ever missed 1 video in the 7 years, and that was when I think it was Christmas. I'm like, you know what, let's not release one this week. But outside of that one time, we have never missed a week. So that's where YouTube does reward consistency with your content as well. But you don't need to be doing daily content. I love videos. I'm one of those weird people that loves editing, loves filming, and I couldn't imagine doing daily videos. You don't need to do daily videos or upload 3 times a week to have success with this, but you do need to be strategic with the content that you are putting out. So for us, 1 video a week is enough, but we're doing that research up front to make sure that we are able to give YouTube what it needs and give the viewers what they need and want from the content as well. Good question. Chantel, great to have you on here. Got your moderator spanner out. I love it. Okay, skimming back through here. Again, apologies if I miss any of your questions and things in here. Great to have you all on here. Happy Friday. Yes, it is Friday here where we are. Let me bring this up. What's the best live content platform to grow? Twitch, YouTube for video content, or not Facebook? Okay, I'm not quite sure about that one. The best for live content. So for us, I mean, I can only speak to YouTube. And for in YouTube sense, we've got content that's showing up years after. There's no other platform around where you are able to upload content and still have it perform that long after. With Facebook and Instagram or whatever, like they're constantly moving the goalposts. They're constantly changing the algorithm in a way that that can make or break your page, your followers, and those kinds of things. On YouTube, yeah, you hear algorithm changes. That's, some people's channels are dropping off after that. But with the strategy that we teach of showing up in search, any algorithm change with YouTube, it's a search engine. It's only going to help get the right content in front of the right people. So if you're giving YouTube everything it needs to understand your content, any algorithm change is only going to help you get more views on your videos and more impact with your content. So that's why we like YouTube. I can't speak to any of the other platforms. I'm a big advocate for going all in on one platform. There's too many people out there that do have a Twitch and Instagram, Twitter, whatever else, and they're on that hamster wheel of creating content across, 3 posts here, 5 over here, and I got to do daily videos here. It's all BS. Pick one. Go all in on one platform. And that way you'll have a big audience and a big connection on one, and you can grow the others afterwards. But I'd much rather see people go all in on one than be scattered and on that hamster wheel and stressed out and all of that stuff, trying to please everyone on every platform. You'll end up talking to no one. That's my approach, my thoughts. Okay, let me go down here. It's great to have you all on here. What camera is the best one to use? We will try to keep the questions like around YouTube growth and stuff, but this is a good question too. It doesn't matter. So the best for you is going to be the best one that you've probably already got. Some of the biggest channels literally just use a webcam. So you can create a YouTube channel, have great success with just a webcam. Others use their phones. Others use more professional gear. So don't let your gear be an excuse for you. There is no best camera. For the most part, I would say which one's going to be the easiest, so that you actually do go and create the content. A lot of people will run out and buy a fancy DSLR or a mirrorless camera, but have no idea how to use it. So then making videos is too hard. So the entire process stops. So not only have you then wasted a lot of money, but you haven't made any videos. You're no closer to the goal that you want. So start with what you have. Learn to master the camera, the phone, whatever it is that you've got to get the best out of it. And that's the stuff that we teach. We don't tell you you've got to go out and spend thousands of dollars on a camera. We don't do camera reviews or anything like that. Not that there's anything wrong with that. But our approach is that you've probably already got enough right now. We do videos on all different kinds of cameras and phones and webcams and stuff. No one ever comments on the quality of it. And so it's all about the content is the most important piece. Okay, scrolling down here. Tips to get longer watch time. This is a good question. Now, this is something, again, we're going to dive in so much more detail on the upcoming training next week or in 4 days' time. But that's the goal. The goal is to first have your content showing up somewhere on YouTube so that people can click it. If it's not showing up, they're not going to be able to click it, which means they're not going to see it. The next step is to get them to click your content. It's all well and good if it's showing up somewhere, but no one's clicking it. YouTube's going to stop presenting that content to them. In which case you could have the world's best video, no one clicks it, no one's going to see it. So your thumbnail strategy is also really important there. And then the third piece then is the watch time. So how do you keep people engaged? How do you get them sticking around in your video? Again, this is something we're going to dive into more detail, but you've really got to look at what can you control. You've got to give the viewers what they want. So we'll always start off with a hook. In this video, I'm going to share with you the top 5 editing apps on iPhone. Oh, good. That's what I'm after. Top 5 editing apps on iPhone, whatever it is. You've got to let them know they're in the right place. And then you can do things like structure your content out in steps or in numbers. So by saying that it's top 5, people are going to stick around for number 5, just in case that's the game changer for them. So you're already sort of ingraining opening loops and things that they're going to want to stick around to hear out all 5 options. So there's a great way to use steps or numbers and those kinds of things in your video so that people will stick around. But we also like to over deliver in our videos. We like to add a bonus, and make sure you stick around to the end, because I'll also share with you my top 2 tips to help you edit faster in any application. So even if you've got your app sorted, even if in this example, the first editing app was the one that you needed, you're sold on it, you're probably likely going to stick around for the editing tips to help you edit faster as well. So all of this keeps people engaged, and it keeps them watching your videos longer, which is awesome. That's a big part of this. The other part is, what can you do in your videos to make them more interesting? The moment they're boring, people are going to leave. So what B-roll or overlay footage or graphics and titles and things could you bring up on screen to keep people more engaged? If it's just a talking head video like this now, it would be pretty boring and people might switch off. So what can you do to keep them sticking around? That's a good question. And again, we're going to dive into that next week. Doug, great to have you on here. Awesome to have you in here. Another local Australian. Okay, scrolling down here again. Apologies if I've missed your question. Hello to everyone that's on here now. Okay, I'm seeing this question pop up a few times. Please don't spam your questions in here. specific tips for sports videos. I mean, the formula still is exactly the same no matter what the video or piece of content is. You want to hook your people in at the start, like tease out the content. You want to then, have some sort of an intro. You could even think of this like a TV show, or if you're going to watch a sporting event on television, what are they doing? They'll probably bring the commentators on first to talk about the game and have a bit of an intro. They might show you highlights from other games, previous games, to get you hooked in. This could be a good game as well. So think of it as like, that's where the content overall, it doesn't change. Whether you're creating a vlog, whether you're doing how-to content, you want to hook people in, have a bit of an intro. You then obviously want the content piece or the game potentially, and then obviously an outro and a next step. What's coming up next? Is it the next game that's coming, and you're teasing that so people come back for the next one. So again, that's something that we're diving deeper into video structure on the training as well, but it doesn't matter the type of content. The overall structure is going to be the same no matter which piece of content you are creating. Just got a phone call coming in from my other brother. Hey Nigel, if you're watching this, he won't be watching this. He should know. Okay, what are your tips for ranking in search in a crowded niche? Okay, I think a crowded niche is actually a massive opportunity. People are like, there's already people out there that are creating the videos I want to create. Who am I to be speaking on these topics? No, if you're in a crowded niche, you know then that people actually want that content. And if it's crowded, it means that that's actually a good thing. You're not creating stuff where you're the only one talking about it, because that would probably mean that there's not too many people that are interested in it. So for us, I would say that I'm in a very crowded niche where we're talking about tech, gear, growing on YouTube, video editing, that kind of stuff, making money online. We're in a very broad niche. There's obviously dedicated channels that focus on each of those individual areas, but where we've gone is more broad so that I can talk about the stuff that I want to talk about and the stuff that's made the impact for us with the business. So the tips for ranking and search and those kinds of things are exactly the same. You want to do that research first. You want to make sure that you're creating content that people are actually searching for. And that's where starting with keyword research is so powerful. And again, I'm not going to get into that here. We share our strategy for that in the training next week. So definitely register for that. It is free. If you can't make it, I am running the same session live 3 times. There'll be Q&A at the end of them. Just like this, but we're going to share that full strategy there for you. So you'll leave there knowing what your next step is and what the area for you to focus on in. But with anyone creating content, you definitely want to be doing some keyword research first. Using those words then in the title, using those words in the first sentence or 2 of your video is going to help your viewers know they're in the right place, but it's also going to help YouTube understand your content. And it's really, really powerful. So yeah, I wouldn't see that a crowded niche is a bad thing. I actually think it's a really good thing. And we've had members in our accelerator program in a really crowded niche grow to 50,000 subscribers plus in a year in personal training, workout videos, those kinds of things. So it's definitely possible if you're doing that research up front. It's super important. Okay, keep going down. All right, what's this one? I made a video when I had 30 subscribers and it got 20,000 views, but I had 0 editing and laggy recording. But when I made a video with high quality recording and editing, no viral. Okay, it's luck of the draw. And what you'll probably find is that maybe people resonated with the more raw video that didn't need to be polished, or you spent too much, I don't know, I haven't seen the video, but potentially you spent too much on the polish and the content wasn't as impactful for your viewers as the other videos. And that's where this whole thing is like, you can control what you can control. You can do everything that you can up until you release the video, and then it's released in the world. So you can't stress about it, whatever. All you can do is then focus on the next video. Once you've had some data on there, some analytics and some time for that video to be out there on YouTube world, then you can start to pull some conclusions. You can look at how many clicks it got or the click-through rate. You can look at how long people watched, if there's clear areas where they dropped off, all of that kind of stuff. You can then take that information, do your best guess, and then move forward and focus on the next video. but it's not just one video performed, one didn't, this one is better. Like, it could be a number of things. It could be that thumbnail image just grabbed people's attention and they clicked it, giving it a lot of views. We don't know how long they watched for. They could have just watched for, 20 seconds, 30 seconds and left. So the more views might not have actually bought your channel in more watch time. So it's never just one clear answer, but know that the quality of the videos isn't as important as the content piece, the quality of the content. Again, people with massive channels are just using a webcam, don't have blurry background, fancy lights, or any of that stuff. You don't need it. It's nice to have it if you can have it, but it's not going to make or break your content or hold back your channel growth at all. For now, we just go for simplicity. What is the easiest way to have a video look okay, but have the content be amazing? And that's where for a lot of it, we're trying to cover my face in the videos to try and make them more engaging, trying to use B-roll, overlay, graphics, those sorts of things to make the videos more engaging so that people can actually have success or understand the concept or whatever it is that I'm talking about on there. They can leave there knowing what they came for or getting what they came for, really. Is it really important to upload a video in the right time? It's not really important, no, but it does help. So it's another one of those things that beyond the release of your video, it doesn't make much of a difference. Like, it's just up there at that point. But for that first 24 to 48 hours, if you are able to get as many of the right people, not just anyone, not your friends and family, the ideal audience, the people that would love that content. If you can get them onto your video, that is going to help you set your video off a little bit faster, because YouTube is trying and testing your content with different audiences and different people. And if you're able to send the right audience, the people you know are interested in that content or could be interested in that content, to that video, it's going to help YouTube find more people with similar interests and similar watch history on YouTube as well. So that's where the upload time can play a difference. And if you use tools like the YouTube Studio dashboard area, it'll tell you when your most engaged audience is online. vidIQ and TubeBuddy also have further insights into that for you as well. So for us, we look at that and say, when is our most engaged audience going to be online? And it tells you that information. And we'll upload a few hours before so that our video is up there, fresh, ready to go before the peak time, not during the peak time. We want it up there ready to go, not sort of dropping in the middle of it or anything like that, or not waiting for it to process on YouTube's end. So that's our goal with it. It's not something that, if it's not possible for you, if you're creating content and you're on that hamster wheel and you just need to get something out, it's not going to make or break your channel if you upload at different times. But it will be easier for people to come back and to tune in and watch your content if it is consistently at the same time every week or on a consistent schedule. Is this being recorded for replay? It will be up for the next 4 or 5 days, but we'll likely pull this one down afterwards. But the replay for the training will be available afterwards, but you will need to register for that. So if you go to the page, primalvideo.com/live workshop, you'll see that we are running the session live 3 times. If you can't make any of those times, I've tried to hit different time zones. If you can't make any of those, still register for one, just pick one, and you get the replay sent out after that session. And those will be available for, I think, 4 or 5 days afterwards, but you really don't want to miss it. I mean, this is the stuff that I wish we knew earlier. If I was starting a channel again right now from scratch, we would have grown it much, much faster than the years that we spent trying, testing, figuring this stuff out. So we've really condensed a lot into it. I think it's around an hour 15 of training that we'll be covering off in those sessions. And then opening it up to Q&A to make sure that you're really leaving there, not just understanding another strategy, but really knowing how you can put it into action. We've all gone through courses and programs and stuff where you understand the concepts and then you don't take action. To me, that's pointless. Like, it's all like, there's so many people that they're YouTube experts, but they're not actually doing it. Like, I would much rather learn from someone who is trying, testing, doing stuff, figuring it out, telling me what to do, and telling me what not to do. And that's really where this came from, is that I don't want to add more content for you guys. There's enough content on YouTube that you can access for free. But this is the stuff that it's more advanced. This is the stuff that we are doing before every video. It's simple when you hear it. It will make sense, but I don't want you just understanding it. I want you actually going to implement it. And that's what we're going to cover on that. That's the big focus on that. We'd much rather work with the action takers, the people that really want to grow on YouTube, not just kind of, oh yeah, I'd like the outcome, but I don't want to do the work. It's not a quick thing. It's not an overnight success thing. Even though you might hear the occasional story of someone that blows up and gets 100,000 subscribers or 1 million subscribers in a year. That's not most of us. That's not most of the channels that are out there. But people see that and then they're disappointed when it doesn't happen for them. There was a point with our channel where we nearly deleted it early on. We weren't growing. Our first 50 subscribers took more than 6 months. 50 subscribers, more than 6 months. And I had created fake channels. I created a channel for my mum. I created a couple of extra business channels just to subscribe to our main channel to make it look like we had more subscribers than we did. And that's the stuff. Like, I get it. You don't want to be creating content that no one sees. And that's why we put this together. And that's why we now do what we do, because we were stuck there, and we were stuck there for a long time. And I don't want to see anyone else stuck for the simple lessons and stuff that we had to learn. We had to learn them the hard way. So that's kind of where our channel is coming from with this. Okay, scrolling back through. Our videos were taking forever to process on YouTube. Just the other day, I ran videos through variable bitrate to pass, and it seems like they're available much quicker on YouTube. Does that sound right? Look, this is where on any editing software, if you're using the YouTube presets, you should be giving YouTube the video file format and everything that it needs. I don't think using a variable bitrate versus a constant bitrate, and again, we don't need to get too technical here, is going to make the world of difference. But this is where, if you're uploading ahead of time and scheduling your videos up for release ahead of time, it really doesn't matter if it takes a day, 4 hours, whatever it is to process, because you're uploading them a few days ahead of time. So that would be the goal that I would be putting here. And then it doesn't matter what file format you use. If it takes YouTube longer, you're not on that sort of hamster wheel of, all right, I'm uploading Sunday and it's going out Sunday. For us, we're trying to upload a few days ahead of time, so that it does have time to process. It's all beyond our control, right? We don't pay to upload our stuff to YouTube. It's a weird thing where they pay us to give them content. So in that regard, it's like, if there is any chance that our video is not going to go out on time because of processing and things, how do we remove that? Well, let's just upload it a little bit earlier. Let's schedule it up for release at our regular time. And that way I don't need to be there at the time. For us, it's on a Sunday night at 10 past 8 p.m. So I'd be putting kids to bed or anything like that. I don't need to be physically sitting there sending it live. So that's what I would say would be my goal for you guys, would be to try and just upload it or schedule it a little bit earlier where it's possible. If you're literally just finishing the video on that day and it's got to go out, then yeah, you might be sort of at in there with the YouTube gods as to when they say that your video can be processed. But if you're using YouTube's recommended settings, which they tell you on their website, or you're using the YouTube presets inside of your editing software, then that really should be all you need to do. Okay, already tackled that one. Let me keep going down. Big list. Awesome to have you all on here. Okay, I'm definitely seeing all the comments now. I agree. One platform, go all in on one. How does someone with no following get their videos seen? This is all part of that giving YouTube what it needs, giving your viewers what it needs. And this is why we have a big focus on showing up in search results. By doing that keyword research up front, by researching your topics, you know that people actually want that content. So YouTube then will see that your title of your video matches exactly what someone is typing in. It's going to test your content in front of some of the bigger ones that are there. This is the biggest opportunity with YouTube. For anyone that's thinking it's too late for YouTube, there's already people that have made the videos that I want to make. They've already got millions of views. Who am I to compete with this? How is my little channel going to compete with channels that have millions and millions of views, subscribers, whatever? The biggest thing that every new channel has going for it, and anyone, really any channel size, is that each individual video is looked at by YouTube as a new individual piece of content. It doesn't really consider the channel size much. It looks at, this is a new piece of content, who needs to see it? And if anything, YouTube rewards new content, recent content more than older content. So it's going to test your new video up against or in search results next to some of the bigger ones as well. Doesn't mean you'll get straight to number one straight away, because there's those other elements that come into it as well. Even if you nail your keywords, your titles, and it shows up in search results or shows up on the platform as a recommended video, if it doesn't get clicked, no one's going to see it. Or people click it and they leave, then that's not a good experience for the viewer. And that's something that YouTube will watch as well and say, you know what, this video is getting next to no watch time. I'm going to stop featuring it. So it's not just ever one thing that you can improve on. The game is, how do I get my content showing up? How do I get it clicked? And how do I keep people watching? And that game you keep playing on every video. And you got to make it a game. Like, what else can I do to keep people engaged? What can I do in my thumbnails to get people to click them? And what different keywords and ways that I can phrase things will help YouTube understand my content, but also help the viewers understand what the video is going to be about as well. So again, this is stuff that we're diving in at a much deeper level on that free training next week. But yeah, this will work if you got 0 following, brand new channel, first video, still has the exact same potential to get ranked as someone with an existing channel that already has followers. You're obviously not going to have the repeat followers that come and flock to your video straight away, but you've got the same potential of having it show up in search results and on platforms as suggested, as recommended, than anyone else. Tips to get people to watch your over and over again. Watch you over and over again. There's two pieces here. You can get them to watch your individual video over and over again. I think that's a really interesting game, because if you've got people coming back to repeat watch your video, that's a really good sign as far as YouTube is concerned. So if you're creating longer videos like a tutorial, you might even say something like, make sure you're bookmarking, or make sure you're adding this video to your favorites or to your watch later playlist, so you can come back and check in on this video again later. Using timestamps or the chapter markers in your videos is a great way to have people jump around in your videos, also encouraging them to come back again later, where they can jump specifically to those areas in your video without needing to watch the whole thing again. So getting people to come back to your video is a really good indicator to YouTube. Getting them to come back and watch all of your content isn't as powerful. It's good, and you shouldn't try to not do it, but it's not necessary for your channel to grow. In terms of our content, our videos aren't for every one of our subscribers. And that's why when we release a video, we don't get millions of views straight away. Because one week I could be talking about iPhone stuff, the next week Android stuff, the next week Mac, PC, and that's just maybe on editing. So if you're not even interested in editing, it could be longer before I start talking about the filming stuff or growing on YouTube. So we know that not every video we create is going to be something that every one of our subscriber wants. So for anyone out there that says you need to create videos for your subscribers, I get that, but they don't need to watch all of it. As long as they're under a big umbrella of, this is the stuff I talk about on this channel, that is enough for them to subscribe. And it doesn't mean they need to watch every one of your videos, because why would I watch the Android one if I'm on iPhone? So it doesn't matter. Clearly, it hasn't slowed down the growth of our channel, but this is where knowing what people are searching for, what they're typing in, is the most important piece. And you know that there's an audience for that. If anything, you have the ability to bring in more new people into your world. Most of our views, I think we hit about 2.2 or 2.4 million views every 28 days right now. And most of those views on our videos come from people who aren't subscribed. I think it's 95 or 96% of our views come from non-subscribers. So that's a lot of people that are watching that aren't subscribing. And that's with the channel with 1 million subscribers. And we're getting around 17 to 20,000 subscribers a month, I think it is. I'm not sure, something like that. So that's where we don't need everyone to subscribe. And this is where the whole subscriber number is weighted way less now, is way less important than it used to be. The goal is to get people onto your videos to watch, and then YouTube will see what their behavior is. If they liked it and they stuck around, YouTube's going to serve them more content of yours. Next time they're searching for something that's related to content that you have, or if they're looking for things where your content could be a fit. It doesn't necessarily have to be search. Okay. What are your tips for ranking in search in a crowded niche besides using paid versions of TubeBuddy and vidIQ? Again, this is what we're going to dive into on the training. You don't need to use paid software. There's other things out there where you can get that insight into how many people or what are people searching for. Just starting out, use the YouTube search box, the autofill. When you start to type something in and an auto corrects you, or it comes up the list of the 10 or 15 options, those aren't just random suggestions. Those are things that people have and are actually searching for. So you can just use that alone is going to help you refine your topics and the way that you're articulating things when you're saying them in the video. If you're saying things the way that your viewers are typing them in, that's going to resonate with them. They're like, oh yeah, well, good. Yep, you're definitely covering off on the content that I wanted to hear. Well, I've just typed that in and you've said that in the video. So those kinds of things are huge. So no, you don't need to necessarily be paying for TubeBuddy, vidIQ, or those kinds of things. If you can't, no problem. It's not going to slow down your growth. Yes, they're both amazing tools to help you do so much more than the keyword research. And there's other tools as well. But you can just start using the auto or YouTube autofill, the YouTube search, and seeing what things come up. And again, we're diving deeper into that in the training. Okay, upload time I did already talk to. Let me keep going down. Still going down. It's weird seeing my face in the chat. Hey, team. We have a team on here helping out. This is good. Like, what's Justin Brown doing in the chat here? Okay, let me click on this one. I want to change my channel name and focus not too much different, but just focus on what I mentioned earlier. Okay, maybe I missed the rest of that conversation. But it is like a lot of people think it's a big deal to change their channel name. When we started as Video Editing Coach. Not sure if anyone's seen any Video Editing Coach videos on our channel. They're still there. I literally say, hey, it's Justin from Video Editing Coach, and we're still sharing tips and those kinds of things. But we rebranded to Primal Video. Not one comment, not one complaint. No one was confused. No one even cared. So yeah, it's not such a big deal that we need to, I'm stuck. This is what my channel is about. No, it's your channel. You can rename it, rebrand it, do whatever you want. People are more so there for the individual videos. And this is where we think that, we've got to have the nicest channel banner art and all that kind of stuff. It helps, but it's very minor because most people will watch your content not on your channel page. They will just find it on the platform somewhere, search, suggested, recommended, and they will click and watch it from there. Most people then aren't going to go to your channel. They can hit subscribe right under the video. Why do they need to go to your channel? So a lot of people focus on the wrong things. I'm not saying you are here, Elle. I'm just saying, like, yeah, you can definitely change your channel name, and it's nowhere near as big a deal as most people think that it is. Let me keep going down. Okay, what are we up to here? Keep going down. Can we re-upload my old videos in YouTube? You can upload anything you want. I would say that, would you be better off uploading new videos or recreating them? Because everything with YouTube, everything really in life is a growth thing, right? So what you knew then, you did the best you could when you made those older videos. But I would imagine that your skill set, your knowledge, your experience has grown since you made those older videos. And if you had to recreate them again now, would you do a better job? Probably. So you could leave the old videos there and do an updated version. Even if you're covering the same content, you might be able to do it faster. You might be able to do it in a way where people resonate with that content more. Or it could be more polished. It could be with a nicer camera than what you had back then. So instead of focusing on the old stuff, I'd much rather see people moving forward. So yes, if those videos are already on a channel and they're doing well, you actually can't upload the exact same video, then it would be classed as duplicate content. It'll actually tell you if you're trying to upload the same video, it's like it already exists. It's not going to let you upload it. You could take down the old video and you could upload it as if it is a new one. That's something you could do. But again, I would probably say if the other videos already have views and you've got subscribers and that kind of stuff on them, could you leave them if they're not going to, if there's nothing wrong with them, could you leave them and then focus on new content facing forward, like coming forward? The other thing we see a lot of people stuck with is thinking, I've already made that video. That video is already on my channel, so I can't talk about that again. No, every year we remake a lot of videos, best editing software, best editing apps, camera apps, all those kinds of things every year. Even if, and some of them, my recommendations haven't changed over the last year, but I'm still doing an updated version of it. If I can say it quicker, if I can, share some more tips or something, have more impact with that content, then that's what I'm looking for. And also, people will see the date on the video when it was uploaded and think that it's more relevant, more recent. So that's also the other side of it as well. Don't think that you can just cover one video and that's it. Because most people will find the individual video and not your channel, and not go back looking and saying, hey, you already did this video. You've already done this video 4 times. Doesn't matter. So I hope that helps. Keep going down here. I bought a new laptop. Any suggestions which beginner software I can use? I'm imagining you're meaning for editing. We have videos on our channel specifically around that. There's some good free options right through to paid, but my quick answer is for anyone is there is no perfect editing software. What might be the best one for you would be the best one for someone else or whatever. So the idea here is that you want to go and try and test a few different ones and see which one is going to be the easiest for you to use. Because if the editing piece is easy, you'll make more videos. I wouldn't recommend that you go and jump into something like DaVinci Resolve where it is really complicated. I hear there's some amazing tutorials on DaVinci Resolve, but I would still say that it's not for most people because of the level of complexity. So you really want to be looking at what's the easiest for me to just edit this video down. And then as your skills evolve and everything like that, and as you're hitting the limits really on the editing software, if you're finding you can't be creative in there and it's too long, it's too slow or whatever it is, that's when you look to update. But the grass isn't always greener by changing editing software. So if you've got something that's been working for you, maybe already just continue with that one. Okay, so we've pretty much covered this one as well. How do I get to 1,000 subscribers? Whatever it is, you really want to start with research. You want to, and again, this is the stuff. This is the perfect segue again into talking about the live session. We're going to be diving deep into this next week on that training in 4 days' time. USA time zone friendly times, Europe time zone friendly times. And if you're in my time zone, Australia, New Zealand, you could probably sign up for all 3 sessions just so you're really leaving there understanding what the strategy is. But yeah, you really want to be starting with research. Don't just create random videos and hope that they take off. You're not going to grow that way, or it's very unlikely that you will grow that way. Or you'll have to put in years and years of doing that strategy and have a couple of videos take off, which might then bring your channel into the algorithm somehow or whatever. It's not a game I'd want to play. That's a big waste of time as far as I'm concerned. So go into it with a strategy. Again, we don't make random videos. We try to research first and make sure that we are creating content that people actually want and are looking for, so that there's a much higher success rate with that instead of creating random videos. Best smartphone for vlogging is the one that you already have right now. Don't run out and get another one unless you're in the market for one. I have iPhone, I have Android. Really not much difference between them. People will say Androids have better cameras. People will say iPhones have better cameras. I guarantee you if you used any sort of recent phone, people won't be sitting there watching, oh, can't believe you filmed this on an iPhone. Oh, you definitely filmed this on an Android. How would they know? They wouldn't know. So it doesn't matter which is going to be the easiest for you. So if you're an iPhone person, get an iPhone. If you're an Android phone person, get an Android one. There is differences in the cameras and those kinds of things, but that's the beauty of it, is that you can get apps like Filmic Pro that will help you get more out of the cameras and help you lock down and use manual modes and those kinds of things and different color profiles if you need to. But for the most part, you could probably just leave it on auto. And again, no one's going to complain as long as the content is good. Okay, well, we're sticking around a little bit longer, answer a few more questions. But again, definitely register, save your spot for the free training. Good advice and congrats on 1 million. Thank you. I've been a long time fan and you've helped me a lot. That's so awesome. Thank you. Should I use any apps for views? I don't really use too many apps outside of the YouTube creator app, more to monitor the channel. None of them will help me get views. It's more that I can look at analytics and those kinds of things and see insights into what's going on with the videos, see if people are dropping off, see what videos performing, which ones aren't, those kinds of things that I can then maybe shift and adjust for the next videos that I'm making. But there's no real apps out there that are going to help you get views. Okay. Does it hurt your channel if most of the views are external? 5 months in, use Facebook groups and 55% of the groups of the views are through these. Okay, not a problem at all. You're still getting views and traffic on your videos. As long as they are the right people, then it is going to help your channel grow, because you're still doing that same strategy as what I said around getting the right people on the first 24 to 48 hours. So YouTube can say, all right, these people liked this content. They watched it through. How do I find more people like them that have watched similar videos, similar interests, those kinds of things? So what you'll find is if you are consistently promoting your videos on Facebook or in your group or whatever it is, and they're the right people, that you will find that your organic reach on YouTube will grow, because you're helping it find the right people. So right now, if it's 55% external, not a bad problem to have. You're still getting the right people watching your content. If it's the wrong people and it's 55% of views, and people are actually clicking your video and they're leaving, then that's not really a good thing. You're better off having less views at that point because they're the wrong people. But at the same time, YouTube will still take that data on board and it will look and say, okay, well, it's not these people. So it doesn't mean the video sucks. It just means that they're the wrong people for that content. So if it's the right people and you're getting views and good watch time and that kind of stuff on them, yeah, definitely keep doing it. If anything, it's going to help your channel grow because you're helping YouTube understand the right people to find more people like that. Do not use clickbait. I agree. I think that there is a place for it if you're trying to go a more viral video strategy. Cool, but the moment that you disappoint the viewer, if you told them that you're going to cover something or whatever, and you don't even mention that in the video, or that's really not what the video is about, then it's pointless for the viewer. It's pointless for your channel growth, and it's not going to help at all. So feel free to experiment with it, depending on the type of content that you've got, but at least, don't annoy your viewers. The viewer experience is the most important piece. So if they click on that and something and they're expecting it, give it to them. Even if it is clickbaity, make sure you're delivering on it, but it's not a strategy that we normally play with at all. Okay, keep going through. Thank you. Thank you, Sue. Again, I just want to share where we got stuck and all the mistakes that we made. That's our business now. And I think I love it. I love doing this because it was frustrating growing to where we have. It was frustrating learning all these things the hard way. I think that's where these gray hairs are coming from the years of trying, testing, failing, but learning. And that's where, Mike and I and the team, we're just pumped to share and help people with this stuff because it doesn't need to be as hard. You don't need to spend the 7 years like we did. And that's why we have our accelerator program to dive deeper in on this stuff. That's why I love running workshops for those action takers that really want the result. I mean, if we just put this live training up on YouTube, it would be a totally different experience for people. The chat would be flooded with people wanting channel reviews and all of that sort of stuff. That's okay. But what we want to do is we put this off YouTube and have it in like a webinar style so that we can work with the action takers. We can help them learn and understand. And we have the Q&A at the end to make sure that you are leaving there knowing what the next step is for you and what the areas are that you need to focus on. And then for those people that are a fit for or want even more from us, then that's where Accelerator could be a fit from them as well. And we will have another intake opening off the back of the free training as well for those people that are ready and do want that next level and the community support and the Q&A calls and that kind of stuff with me as well. So thank you. Feedback like this is good. That's our goal, is how do we help people not make the mistakes that we made. Your 90th like, awesome. Thank you very much. It does make a difference. I mean, if you haven't given this video a like, make sure you do if you are seeing value in it. It does help more people see this video. And the same goes for your channels as well. So we've stopped asking for a subscribe at the start of the video. And I say now, if you're seeing value in this video, make sure you're giving it a thumbs up. It really makes a huge difference. I'm not lying when I say that. It actually does make a huge difference. It's a smaller commitment for people. If they don't know who you are and this is the first video they're watching from you, why would they subscribe? You haven't given them any value yet. They're literally 10, 15, 20 seconds into your video. By asking for a subscribe then, what benefit do you have? You haven't seen if the video is good yet. Instead, we ask for a like. And I say, if you're seeing value in this video, as in it doesn't need to be right now, but at some point, if you have value in this video, remember to give it a thumbs up. That is almost as good as a subscribe as far as YouTube is concerned. It sees that you liked the content. Now, whether you subscribe or not, YouTube's going to show more of that content to you where it's a fit, or where you're searching for something, or where you're watching suggested or recommended videos. So that's what we do now, and it does make a big difference. So thank you everyone who does give our videos a thumbs up, and this one as well. Thank you. Okay, we'll be wrapping this up soon. Which videos end up in the people also watch section of the search results? They're the videos that other people have watched as along with your content. So, and I think it's awesome that YouTube's now giving us further insight into this. This is only a relatively new feature where they are showing you in terms of your content on your channel, this is the other channels that your audience is also watching. And these are the other things that search phrases and things that people are finding you for the most part. So I love that YouTube is giving you this extra insight now because you can go and check out those channels, maybe even reach out to those channels if it's a fit for your content, maybe start sharing some of their content. YouTube, you've probably heard, YouTube is a community. It's not a place for competition. So even the channels that are very, very similar to ours, we're good friends with all of them. And there's even friendly banter. Hey, go and check out the search results for this one. No, they'll send back, or check out these other ones. So it's all good. It's all fun. We're all helping people, and you don't have to be for everyone. So, I mean, you might not like the way that I deliver content. You might like someone else's, or vice versa, back the other way. It doesn't matter. All we're doing is sharing our thoughts, our opinions based on our experience, but it's our personality, which is the unique piece that's pulling it all together, or the way that we look at stuff, the way we articulate things and package it all together. So even if someone else is already out there making this exact same videos, it doesn't matter, because the videos themselves aren't going to be the same. What are the best social media management apps or tools? To manage YouTube comments, we use Agora Pulse. It's not cheap, but obviously working with a team, it makes a big difference. TubeBuddy and Vidio are good. My preference right now is TubeBuddy in terms of YouTube channel management, but I have both installed. Yeah, lots of other ones as well, but those are probably the main ones. Okay, scrolling down, see if I can jump to some of the ones that are more recent. Again, apologies if I have missed your comments, questions, and everything in here. There you go. Thank you very much, Chantel. Right click, save it for the free training here, primalvideo.com/live workshop. Yeah, definitely. And if you see that the time zones don't line up for you, still register so we can get the replay out to you. Yeah. Justin, where are you from? I am from the Sunshine Coast in Queensland, Australia, which is about an hour north of Brisbane. Hi, Justin, music, free and paid. How do you get them and get that right for my videos? I don't recommend free music. There is some places that you can go to get free music. We have videos on our channel answering this exact question. So I definitely recommend going and finding those and watching those. But quick answer is I use Artlist and Epidemic Sound. Those two make the whole licensing thing really easy, and they've got awesome catalog of music. They're not free, but in terms of what you're getting access to, they're not super expensive either. You're not buying an individual track for $100 a track the way that it used to be, sometimes more. These guys is just a subscription, so you pay and you can use whatever is in there. I've been part of this YouTube channel for years. Awesome. Thank you very much for the ongoing support. Great to have you on here. Thanks very much for all your videos. They've helped me grow my YouTube channel so much. I've been helping my friends with what I've learned. Thank you for everything. Thank you very much. That's so awesome. This is why we do it. So early on, what I didn't share was when our channel wasn't working, there was a standout comment that came through. And I have shared this story before, not today, but there was a standout comment that came through, and it was, "Thank you so much for making this video. You inspired and helped me make my first video, raising awareness for autistic children." So at that point, it was like, you got to get out of your own way. It's not about me being scared of being on camera. It's not about me being worried about subscriber numbers or whatever. Like, these videos have the potential to impact and help people and have much bigger ripple effects than me being worried about who am I to talk about this, or you know, YouTube squashing small creators, or it's too late for YouTube. No. At that point, it is so clear that you have helped someone, and someone has been able to potentially affect and impact more people from their side of things as well, based on a simple video that we put out. So at that point, we're like, we need to make this work. We need to help people with this stuff. There's something that will become easy for all of you. There's something that you enjoy talking about. There's something that you enjoy doing. For me, it's the video, the tech, the building online businesses and stuff. I can talk about that stuff any day, and I love talking about that stuff. So finding that for you and basing your channel around that makes it so much easier and so much more rewarding, because you're helping people with the stuff that you're interested in. If you're not feeling that with your channel and you're creating stuff that you think an algorithm wants, but you don't want to talk about those things, then it's going to be very hard for you to stay motivated, stay consistent, and to push through on those times where you're not feeling it. It's just going to take longer for you to kind of push through. So if you can find out what that is for you, that's huge. And so look at the things that you enjoy. Because where I come from with this one, I know it wasn't your question there or anything like that, is people struggle with what they should create their channel about, or they haven't nailed their niche yet. They don't know what they want to do. Look at the stuff, look at the conversations that you enjoy having, and essentially that's all you're doing. You're having conversations on your YouTube channel. You might think it's not two-way, but hey, there's a comments area there. You'll get feedback. You can ask questions. You can connect and engage with people. You can do live streams and hang out with your awesome community. So you've got to enjoy it. That's what I'm saying. Sunshine Coast. Love it. Great to have you on here. Okay, scrolling through. Okay, I am going to wrap this up. Like this, post videos with the mindset to help people. And helping can be entertaining. So if you're creating vlog style content or gaming channels, whatever it is, you might think, I'm not helping people with my content. No. People need an escape. People can look to you for entertainment. The whole fact that, you know, top shows, reality TV shows, and those kinds of things on TV, they're not there helping people. People aren't learning from them, but they're being entertained. And it can be a distraction from their life or whatever it is. So in terms of showing up, creating content that you like, that's the big piece here. But I like the idea of creating content that helps people, especially around the stuff that I'm pumped to talk about. So yeah, thanks again, Chantel, for posting the link again. I'm going to wrap it up here. I'm going to save my voice for next week when I'm running this session 3 times. Awesome to have you all on the live stream here. Make sure you do register to save your spot. And yeah, for those of you that are interested off the back of that, we will be opening the doors to Primal Video Accelerator as well. But more about that a little later. Awesome. Great to connect with you. Hope you all have an amazing weekend, and great to see you all on here. Thanks for hanging out.